Today on DC News Now.
The heat is on, but storms are also on their way. We'll time out when it could get a little bit noisy out there.
Schools canceling outdoor activities because of the heat. I'll tell you how parents feel about the decision. Police conducting more search warrants at the home of missing Manassas Park mother, Mamta Kafli Bhatt. What's next in the investigation?
People with illnesses getting a new voice thanks to AI. Learn more in today's Tech Talk. And are prescription drug prices way too high? We're here to help you cut costs and stretch your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. We are testing the records today. The heat is back on right here in the DMV. Meteorologist Damon Matson joined us with the latest check on the forecast. Damon, the hot weather's returned, and we have a chance of storms.
Oh, yeah, Mark. A lot's on the table here today, but first and foremost, what we are dealing with is that heat and some of that haze that is still very, very evident in the sky. And we have advisories in place for both of those things. Heat advisories take effect starting at 1 p.m., going until 7 p.m. There in the orange, that is pretty much all of the DMV under some sort of heat advisory through this afternoon into the evening, as we are expecting that heat to spike around 3 to 4 o'clock later on today. And there you have those same air quality alerts. We've had these around the last few days, and they remain in place in and around the DC Metro until midnight tonight, as we will continue to keep that haze around. Now, the haze was not the only thing we saw in the sky this morning. Many of us woke up to quite a bit of cloud cover. Some of us are still seeing some clouds in the sky, and that is extremely important, folks. Regardless, it's going to be a hot and humid day, but as to whether or not we see widespread air temperatures reaching 100, well, those clouds are going to have a say in that. Yes, we could still see a couple locations approaching 100, but at this current moment, we only have temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s. So we have a little ways to go to get up to that century mark across most of the DMV. Regardless, though, hitting 98, 99, it's still going to be downright hot and humid. Take it easy. Definitely stay hydrated out there. Those couple of degrees won't make that much of a difference at the end of the day. Now, on top of that, as we approach sunset, there's those storms starting to show up. We'll talk about who is in line to likely see some of these potentially stronger storms later on. That's coming up, and a look at your full forecast in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Fairfax County activating its heat plan. Cooling centers across the county are opening today. The centers will also have supplies for those who need them, including bottled water, sunscreen, and bug spray. Officials say that outreach workers will also be on hand to give out supplies to people who are homeless or unhoused. Today, parts of Maryland and Virginia are under an air quality alert. And if you live in Montgomery and Prince George's counties, the State's Department of the Environment wants you to be cautious and of the conditions. Now, take a look at this. The air quality index showing moderate conditions, at least right now. And that puts conditions in the yellow, the second lowest of 6 levels. And that could impact sensitive groups. New details in the case of the missing Manassas Park mother, Mamta Kafli Bhatt. Her husband, Naresh Bhatt, denied bond Monday. Now police are ramping up their search to find her. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons is in Manassas Park with the latest on the investigation.
Well, the makeshift memorial outside of the couple's home here continues to grow. You can see flowers and candles left behind by an impassioned Manassas Park community demanding justice for Mamta. The police chief says they remain focused on finding her. The search for 28-year-old Mamta Kafli Bhatt continues as officers work to execute more search warrants on the couple's home. A judge denied bond to her husband, Naresh Bhatt, during a hearing Monday. He is charged with concealing a dead body, but his defense argued without a body, there is no probable cause. New details of Naresh's alleged abuse of Mamta were also revealed in court. Manassas Park Police Chief Mario Lugo says officers executed a search warrant to look for additional evidence. He couldn't say exactly what officers were looking for, but that the department accomplished what they wanted to. Now he says they are expanding the search in Manassas Park, Prince William County, and beyond.
What is still left for you to look for? Obviously Monta. We're still looking for Monta. And in any other evidence we can find in this case. I mean, it's ongoing. It doesn't end with just the arrest.
Police hope to get Naresh on additional charges. Meanwhile, Naresh is due back in court for a motion hearing tomorrow. For now, in Manassas Park, Liberty Simmons, D.C. News Now.
Our thanks to Liberty Developing Now. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that led to the death of 2 people. It happened the 21,000 block of Ridgetop Circle in Sterling, Virginia. Police say that around 4:30 this morning, deputies responded to a reported argument. They found 2 people suffering from gunshot wounds. The 2 were sent to the hospital where they later died. No word on the shooter. Police are asking anyone with information to give them a call. Several businesses in Montgomery County are picking up the pieces following late-night break-ins. Police say that 5 businesses across the county targeted Monday night. Investigators say that 4 of those break-ins happened at the Glen Echo Shopping Center in Bethesda. They say that another took place in Parkway Deli in Silver Spring. That's where the store manager says that the vandals smashed the front window. Some customers not letting the break-ins stop them from showing up.
It just means I'm going to come here more and support them. I hope they can get technology to help them with surveillance and stuff like that so this doesn't happen again, to deter future incidents. But no, I'll come more now because I want to support them.
Yeah, Parkway's deli manager tells DC News Now there's surveillance video of the suspects trying to take the ATM but leaving after not being successful. Police say that they are investigating. Here in the district, one D.C. council member calling for drastic change at the Office of Unified Communications. The push comes days after the OUC says that it's getting some system upgrades. District officials say that there have been about 18 incidents of the 911 system going down since December of last year. Well, if you remember, a baby died while the system shut down earlier this month, and city officials say that 8 of the 18 incidents of the 911 system going down had some pretty significant effects. A 22-point plan to address the computer-aided dispatch outages has been in place, and Councilmember Nadeau says that that's good, but a more urgent and broad response is needed. Some of her proposal includes the council passing a legislation to separate fire and EMS calls from police calls and have those calls managed by a call center staffed by fire and EMS department. And this supports the call from more than 100 ANC members for an independent review of OUC. Also increasing salaries and providing more and better training for call takers. She says that the agency struggles to find qualified staff, partly because they ask for so much and pay so little, about $50,000 starting salary. And lastly, Nadeau is calling on the Committee on Justice and Public Safety to hold a public roundtable and call key city officials to testify. She says that they must answer about why things have gone so wrong. Well, we have some AT&T customers who might be having some trouble calling 911. Officials from D.C. and Washington County, Maryland, saying that network issues with the provider block some people's ability to call 911 from a wireless device. Some customers in Washington County could still have trouble calling this afternoon. However, the Office of Unified Communications says the problem has been solved in the district. Washington County officials say AT&T customers should use a landline or a phone with a different wireless carrier to dial 911. Well, new in Tech Talk, we're learning more about the new technology giving a voice to those with illnesses that impact their ability to speak. As DC News Now's anchor Annalisa Gale found out, a Virginia representative is one of many now using the tool that's now being offered for free to many others.
Millions of Americans face challenges that make it harder to move, speak, act, or otherwise live their day-to-day lives.
Representative Jennifer Wexton was diagnosed with a rare neurological disorder last year, which affected her ability to speak. But last month, we heard her use her voice with the help of technology created by 11 Labs.
I never thought that at my age and otherwise good health, something like PSP could, in the space of just over a year, rob me of my ability to speak, run, or dance, and force me to stop doing the job that I love.
We provide services to customers and enterprise businesses that come to us for AI audio. So they can create synthetic voices, they can create replicas of their own voice, they can dub audio into different languages. We offer 32 languages.
The technology allows users to type in the words they want to say before it is read out loud in the voice they choose. It can also be customized with their own.
If you put text into our model that is sad, the output of the voice will be melancholy. If you put in text into our model that has a context of being happy, then the output will be joyful to some extent.
Hey, Tim Green here, and this is my voice using 11 Labs.
It's a tool that can change lives. Last week, 11 Labs announcing a plan to share the technology for free with thousands of others with ALS and motor neuron disease, which can also impact an individual's speech.
We are offering all ALS, MND people who are diagnosed with those diseases free licenses to our program. And with our nonprofit partners, Bridging Voice and the Scott Morgan Foundation, we're going to be distributing those.
Their goal is to help 1 million people.
And to allow AI to do some good out there in the world.
A Hyattsville native takes the court for the second round of the U.S. Open. Frances Tiafoe is looking to make another deep tournament run. He's fresh off of a finals appearance in the Cincinnati Open. Tiafoe's best career performance came at the U.S. Open in 2022 when he made the semifinal. He will take on an unranked player around 1:15 this afternoon. Good luck to him.